Hello, dear friends. Welcome to another study of the Spiritist Magazine. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be with you. And tonight, the article is titled Happiness. Isn't that wonderful? So, we're going to share with you this article that was published in the issue 49 of the current Spiritist Magazine in the English language. But this article is actually originally from Kardec's Spiritist Magazine, published in March of 1860. What am I talking about? 1860, March of 1860. So if you go to the original magazine, you're going to find that article. And happiness on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're here with you, always discussing an article of the Spiritist Magazine. And this is a beautiful article. Remember, you can find all of the issues of the Spiritist Magazine by visiting the website spiritistmagazine.org. There you can download the app for your devices, or you can order the physical copy of the Spiritist Magazine. And here it is. This is the cover of the Spiritist Magazine that we're going to be talking about today. And as always tend to move, you can choose which article you're going to study. And once you find the one that interests you, which is here, and then you will be able to read the article from the Spiritist Magazine. Once you do that, it'll make it easier to read. It's harder to show to you because it's a lot of white on white technology here, but it is there. It's there for you. It's there for your family. It's at the hand of for your study. You can also download the app for your cell phone, Android or Apple. It's the same thing. You'll be able to find all of the issues of the Spiritist Magazine. And here, once you find the issue you would like, you can open, and the same thing is true. You can be here. Might be able, depending. Let me show you a different one that might be easier to read. There you go. So you can actually read it at your own convenience. We always like to remind people of these resources because we want to nourish our souls of good content. We want to remove ourselves from talking about the news and these posts that portray a perfect life out there with teachings from the good spirits. And remember, Kardec curated the teachings of the spirits on his 5 books of the codification, and every month he would publish one issue of the Spiritist Magazine of his time until 1 month after his discarnation. And there's a lot of teachings that you can see. So if I put myself alone here, you're gonna see these are the Spiritist Magazine as sold by the U.S. Spiritist Federation. Those are each one of those colors is 1 year of the Spiritist Magazine content in English. So there is really no excuse for us to indulge in these teachings. But without further ado, we're going to be talking about happiness. Is this by the Spirit Stael, through the medium Miss Eugene. And do you want to be happy? Who doesn't want to be happy? Is happiness possible while incarnated on the earth? We'll see. What do the spirits say when they mention happiness? Here you're going to see. The spirit asks this question: what is the goal of each individual on the earth? What is your goal? What are you here to do, dear friends? What's your mission? What kinds of things you are here to learn, to serve, to do? Is it possible to know what's your goal of this individual? What is the goal that you wanted versus what is the goal that perhaps sometimes our goals for this earthly existence may not be totally aligned with what God has in mind. So where do you find yourself? Who is around you? What kind of job do you have? What kind of opportunities are presenting to you today? That might help us with finding the goal of our lifetimes. Aside from the goal of progress, the goal of loving one another, the goal of serving one another, redressing past mistakes and making amendments with the ones we love, what is your goal on the earth? The Spirit continues. They want happiness. We, the individuals, want happiness at any price. Do we want happiness at any price? We'll see. The Spirit continues. What is it that makes each individual, each one follow a different route? So what is it that for some happiness takes a certain shape, a certain amount of work, and other people choose happiness? There's a different kind. What kind of happiness are you searching for? The Spirit will answer. It is that each one of us hopes to find happiness on a place or something that we particularly like. Some seek glory, others riches, others honors. Which one are we? Are we the ones seeking glory? Are we the one pursuing riches? Or are we seeking honors and affirmation from others? Or deeper yet, are we hoping to find happiness in a place or something? For example, am I going to be happy when? I will be happy when I get that job. I'll be happy when I have a bigger house. Will I be happy when I finish my degree? Will I be happy when I have these, that, and the other conditions? Then I might be seeking happiness in things. And we know that every single thing that you have, physical, material thing that you have, serves a purpose. Otherwise, God won't allow us to have it, right? Our titles, our honors, our work allow us an opportunity of service. This perfectly aligns with the chapter on vocation and profession in the book Voting Life by Emmanuel. Go check out those studies on Kardec Radio as well. And this begs the question, are we the ones seeking glory, riches, and honors? Anything wrong with it? Of course not. When we seek material possessions, when we work and we learn and we improve, we are able to improve the quality of life of other beings on the earth. Let's think this way. If there weren't people back then, a few decades ago, developing technologies like this ones, we wouldn't be able to communicate using the internet, for example. Yet, riches, honors, and glory shouldn't be the only thing that we find happiness with. That we gotta have a bigger goal, greater goal. And this may be just the means and the steps that we get there. So if we have that interest in looking about riches, honors, and glory, study the book Thought and Life by Emmanuel. The Spirit will continue by saying, the majority of the individuals on the earth chase fortune, as it is currently the most powerful means of getting to everything. Fortune serves as a pedestal. Remember, friends, this was published in 1860 in the original Spiritist Magazine or Spiritist Review by Allan Kardec. Aren't we still on the earth chasing fortune? Aren't some of us idolizing the ones who are rich, the ones who are in power, and aiming to be like them? Don't some of us do that? Yes, we do. There's 7 billion individuals on the earth. However, you and I are here together to awaken our conscience to know that fortune shouldn't be a pedestal for us to idolize. But if we have the means, if we are seeking material fortune, it needs to be for the benefit of others as well. We shouldn't just keep the resources to ourselves. What else do the Spirit say? He will continue actually in the magazine by saying, how many see fulfilled this need for happiness? The Spirit will say, very few of us fulfill this need for happiness by searching for things or riches or glory or fortune or honors for that matter. Nowadays it's very prestigious to have degrees and to have titles in spiritist centers and religious institutions. Ask each one of those who arrive if they have achieved the objective, and they will set to say if they're happy. Everyone will answer not yet, because all desires increase in the proportion to those who are satisfied. We want to be the ones who say, I came back. I returned to the physical world. I reincarnated to have this experience, and my central desire was of serving others. I had a reincarnatory plan. Now I return to my spiritual home. And the majority of the things on my reincarnatory plan were fulfilled. And maybe we'll be able to see today the importance of seeking happiness in the relationships that we have, seeking happiness in serving our fellow beings. Now, is it wrong to search for happiness? Absolutely not. The Spirit, Stael, will say to us, if God put this great need of happiness in our hearts, it is that it must exist somewhere. So happiness must be somewhere. Where is happiness, dear friends? Is it on the things we have, or even in our family members and friends? Because we know that the family members we have, the friends we have, they're loans from God. God has granted us the opportunity of being together. And our happiness shall not depend only on having them with us. Do you know why? Because one day we will discarnate and return to the spiritual realm. One day they will discarnate and return to the spiritual realm. And if they are our own reason for happiness, then we will be suffering. We need to encompass happiness in not things, people, or places, but in acquisitions, spiritual acquisitions, spiritual abilities that are more than just the physical beings that we have. The Spirit who wrote this message continued, yes, trust God, but know that all that God promised must be divine like God, and that the happiness you seek cannot be material. The happiness I have may be in encountering a kindred spirit whose love and affection we've achieved. We've lived together in our lifetimes. We spent time in the spiritual realm before returning, and then now here on the earth, we encountered them in our lives, and we feel joyful and happy to be with them. But they shouldn't be solely what we need. We shouldn't just seek happiness in what's material, because material is ephemeral. Material passes. Even the technology we're using today shall be transformed into something different. When we go growing up, we have different types of technologies, right? CDs, DVDs, cassette tapes, vinyls. And now today you and I are talking through the blessings of the internet and the programs we have to be spiritually connected yet physically distant. So the happiness that we seek cannot be material. So the invitation is, what is my central desire? What do I want? What does my heart crave? And ultimately, the food for the soul, the food for the spirit, the nourishment for the spirit, any and all spirits, all for all the universe's love. The love that emanates from the Creator, and then we can feel it around us when we serve, when we love, when we care for one another. And yes, you are a physical being. Therefore, there will be physical and material things that you need to make our life easier. So, your life and my life easier. Yet, our happiness is not only in the material. The Spirit will console us now, saying, "Come to us, all you who suffer. Come to us, all of you who need hope, because on earth everything is missing. Here in the spirit world, we have more than your requests need." In the spiritual world, the abundance of love and kindness can be felt more openly and more readily than you and I can feel in the physical realm. The Spirit says, "Desperate mothers who grieve over a tomb, come here. The angel you mourn will speak to you, protect you, inspire you with the resignation to the failures you endured on the earth." Are you suffering, dear friends? We are all today being challenged to trust in God. And the promise of happiness is of a divine happiness, of happiness we can't imagine because we are still an imperfect spirits, perfectible. But can you imagine the happiness that the superior spirits experience when they, in the presence and knowledge of God, can experience much more happiness than you and I can even conceive because of the constraints of our physical senses and our physical vocabulary and knowledge. Here the spirits are saying, "Come to us." And how do you go to the spirits? First of all, you remain living and incarnated until God calls you at your own time. We don't quit this lifetime. We can come to the spirits to receive hope, to receive inspiration, to receive the soothing balm of all what we need by praying, by being here together, nourishing our souls. During sleep, if we practice intelligent sleep, sleep hygiene, turning off our cell phones and devices before going to bed, having good readings, good inspirational readings before going to bed, watching what we consume throughout the day, watching our thoughts during the day. We can pray before going to bed so that we can join our spirit guides, our mentors in the spiritual realm. We can go to them to receive consolation, to receive spiritual treatment, to receive psychological treatment, and go have therapy in the spiritual realm. But it's up to you and I to go to them if we suffer. And then we will wake up in the morning. We may not remember the whole exchange, yet we will feel hopeful. We'll feel nourished and strengthened in this lifetime. If we're grieving, if we are grieving the loss of someone, or even if we are grieving the loss of the expectations we have for our family members, we wish to be out there and celebrating the holidays with our family members. And now we can't because we are asked to stay home to protect one another. There's a grief there because we envisioned holidays with family members and friends. Now we can have that, or we shouldn't have that. So we can protect ourselves, we can live and stay on this planet and not unnecessarily expose ourselves to the pandemic virus that is going around. If we feel that way, we go to the superior spirits, we pray, we read, we encourage one another, we reach one another over the current technologies that we have, and we don't give in to fear. We don't give in to anxiety and the collective emotional contagion. We are strong and we trust in God that if we fulfill what we came here to fulfill during this lifetime, we will be rewarded with peace of mind in the spiritual realm. Whatever do the Spirit says, now they're going to talk about not only those who grieve, but all those of you who have an insatiable need for science. Address us, because only we can give you your spirit the food that is required. So do we need science right now? Yes, we do. Do we need the scientists to come up with treatments and vaccines and technology? Yes, so that the physicians and the medical profession can use those treatments to help us in all realms of life. So let's go to them. How do you, if you're a scientist such as I am, or if you're not, that's fine, to address the spirits. Do you have a problem? Are you trying to get answer to something that you need to decide? Pray. Pray for inspiration. The good spirits will come, inspire us, yet they will respect our free will. You feel compelled, you feel calmer, and then you have go for a walk in nature. Contemplate the sunrise and the sunset and the stars and the firmament. Feel yourself part of the universal human family that permeates, that populates all of the globes on the universe, and feel connected with the higher realms where we can be together in spirit and helping and supporting one another. The spirit will say, come to us. They're saying, we are here to help you. Your spirit guides are there, just waiting for that opening. And that's why we end our studies always with a prayer. We create habits that bring us closer to them. For example, Jesus in the home. We can do the gospel at home weekly, alone or with our family members. If they don't accept the Spiritism, they don't want to pray, that's their choice. They have free will. And then if you create the habits of praying right before you wake up to thank God for the opportunity of being alive one more day. If you pray before you eat so you can infuse the food with good molecules and good vibrations. If we do mindful eating where we're not focusing a few things, we're just focusing on the nourishing of the food. If we mindfully drive to work, or before we log into our Zoom meetings, we pray that God inspire us to do the best for that business in alignment with God's laws. And then throughout the day, I encounter someone, I pray, God, please allow me, when I speak, if I have the blessing of speech, to say something comforting to the loved one that is in front of me, to the brother and sister that I may not know that is in front of me. Let's go to the spirits. The spirit is saying, come to us. They have the food that our spirit requires, which is love. The ultimate nourishing of our spirits is universal love. The spirit will finally say, we will know how to find relief for each wound. And however abandoned you seem, there are spirits who love you and are ready to prove it to you. I speak for everyone. I wish that you come and ask us for advice, and I'm sure you will go back with the hope in your heart. 1860, dear friends, Kardec was compiling all the works of Spiritism, and this is the message that we have. There are spirits who love you and are ready to prove it to you. Not that they need, but they are ready to come and help us. Do you have children? There are spirits there who love them. They are willing and able, waiting for us to connect so they can inspire us to take care of our children. Your spouse has a spirit that loves them, loves him or her, and are ready to help. Are we having disagreements at work? Your boss has a spirit that loves him or her. Our co-workers have their spirit guides. Everyone on the earth has a superior spirit taking care of them. You know this, so now we can commit to come to the spirits and say, please, I don't see eye to eye with this person. Help me calm down. Help me be wise in my words. Help me be silent when I need to be. The spirits are saying, I wish that you come and ask us for advice. Mentally, you can pray, please, God, I humbly request your help. I don't know what to do. God knows what you and I need. However, God allows us to pray for what we want. That allows us to be humble enough to understand that we are in need of help. And then we open our minds and hearts and we feel fulfilled and loved. Feeling overwhelmed? There's too much news around, there's too much energy, fear, and anxiety. Stop. Say, excuse me, I'm going to the bathroom. And then there you can pray. As you wash your hands, 20, 30 seconds of soap, you can pray. Now the soap can work its magic, and then you can feel showers of healing vibrations pouring onto you. You can feel calmer. There's so many opportunities to go to the spirits and ask them for help. And that's it. They say, come to us for advice, and I'm sure you'll go back and find hope in our hearts, in your heart. Do you feel hopeful, dear friends, that happiness will be achieved one day? Happiness may not be of this world yet there is so much, so many more superior spheres around us. There's loving and kindly guiding the spiritual progress of the earth. Go read the books of Andrea Louise and learn about the superior spirits that come to the non-solar colony to teach them new technologies of food and breathing and nourishment. The prayers, every day, in the superior spirits stop and pray a certain time so we can all align with the mission of serving God and loving God. And now I'm going to invite you to pray with me. And I'm going to leave here our reminder of how beautiful the Spiritist Magazine looks, how blessed we are to have the Spiritist Magazine here together. And as of course, we are in the technology, and the technology is failing me right now, but we are together. We are conquering and learning new things. This is the one. Working with the Master was the title we looked at last week. So remember, you can always come back to this. Subscribe to your Spiritist Society's YouTube channel, Facebook page. Post good things on your social media, Instagram. We are all out there, everywhere. Nourishing the souls that come for consolation. Let's work with the good. And before I leave today, we'll go to spiritistmagazine.org, where you're going to download the app for your devices, where you can download the PDF for study. And then we always finish with a prayer. Always remind you to have water bottle with you. The spirits can infuse this water with molecules that are of help to us in our spiritual and physical bodies. And then that we can drink that throughout the night or throughout the day, whatever you're watching this on demand. And being together, nourishing our souls, we will reach out to the spirits now, and we're going to ask for their guidance. Join me in praying. The recommendation is always the same. The recommendation is that we close our eyes, if it's safe for us to do so, so we move our attention inwardly. We remove all the external stimuli that may be grabbing our attention. And then we repeat, open-eyed, closed-eyed. You can pray doing so many things. Right now you're watching this. You can pray doing the dishes, taking a shower, driving, taking care of your loved ones. Whatever you're doing, you can still pray. And then we repeat the words of the prayer mentally when anybody is praying, so that we can attune. Thought is life. Thought is a particle. Thought is a wavelength. And when we send good vibrational thoughts that oscillate in the good, then your wave matches, and we're going to go together. We match all the goodness. Everybody who is attuned with the same kind heart and mind. And by praying together, we can reach out and we can augment our effect. Shall we pray? Let us all feel the loving kindness that permeates this universe. Breathe in the love that emanates from God and feel His loving presence with you in your homes, in our workplaces, out and about, going about our days. Tonight, dear God, feeling connected with you, we thank you for this blessed opportunity of study and of in being of service to all of the brothers and sisters that are around us. Dear God, we thank you for the beauty that surrounds us, for all the blessings that we have in our lives, from the physical help that we receive from our incarnate friends and family, from the invisible help that we receive from the spirits that are kindly, lovingly caring for us. Dear God, we pray that we are able to reach out to one another, that we can open our hearts, we can open our minds and our lives to be of service to our fellow beings, that we can keep our minds and hearts open to receive your loving inspiration, that we can soothe any of the suffering that is around us, that we can bring solace to the afflictions of all of those around us. Dear God, we pray that we are able to serve our family members and our friends in both realms of life, and that these moments of reflection be filled with loving vibrations that emanate from divine providence and reach each and every one of us. May the good spirits who are always caring for us be able to use our presence and our vitality to help the incarnate friends and the discarnate friends that join us tonight. Dear God, we pray that all of humankind on the earth and beyond feel your love and your grace, and they can perceive the presence of their spirit guides by their side. May we all be a beacon of light in our neighborhoods, in our cities, allowing our love and our kindness to emanate from our hearts to the hearts of all of those around us. Dear God, we hope that we are able to come to you for solace and that we can feel supported by you, consoled in our afflictions, and certain that one day your divine happiness will be at reach. For now we pray for the strength to undergo anything, any difficulties in our lives, and that we can quench any fear, anxiety, or ignorance that is around us and within us. Dear God, please guide our path. Please guide our emotions, our actions, and our ideas so that we can be of service to all of humankind. May you bless the hours that are left in our incarnation, and that we can be guided and inspired by your good spirits, allowing us to be of service to one another. We ask you for your permission and for your protection as we end our studies today. And so be it. Dear friends, thank you so very much for joining me. And remember, we can be together again. We will be together, God willing, next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with another article from the Spiritist Magazine. Until then, I hope you can join us in watching all of the good content we have to offer. But until I see you again, I wish you guys many, many blessings. Have a blessed night and a blessed day. See you soon.